Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is War 2 of Season 32, and I must say, this season starting horrible for me. My kind of like confidence in my own fighting ability now is pretty much at all-time low. I don't even know exactly what's wrong with me. I haven't been able to focus properly. It probably has something to do with the fact that I haven't been able to sleep well for quite a while, but either way, definitely not good. If I can't get my stuff together, I'll just have to, I don't know, maybe leave NEWN for a while and take it easy or something, because I can't be like this and fight, you know, with the hopes for like kind of top spots, which NEWN does want to fight for top 3, and at this point I feel like an anchor. Either way, to add the insult to the injury, this war is against my old alliance, and this also is going to be the second war in a row where I get KO'd. Now, to make it even worse, the first death is kind of part of miscommunication and also part of me just not thinking enough and getting bamboozled. So this is the strike counter fury lane, and that was kind of like in my assignment to do. I thought I was meant to use Think here, hence the part of miscommunication, which it turns out I wasn't, except that wasn't passed down that note. Typically am, but I still should have realized that it is a trap. Similarly, like with Mojo, if the fight lasts long enough, where Void gets, you know, a ton of furies, then you basically instantly die if protection's not active for any given amount of time. On top of that, Void has those fairly kind of like long special attacks, especially on level 1. And, well, we're gonna see how it happens. I'm not gonna show this fight in like full detail, but this was kind of like pretty much doomed from get-go. Now, there is a option how I get through this fight alive, and that is if I manage all the transitions perfectly and, you know, get rid of all the debuffs at all times. But honestly, going in this fight, I wasn't thinking of it. I didn't realize what I have done, and therefore I wasn't too kind of like concerned about necessarily, you know, matching the debuff, taking the debuffs off myself immediately. I only realized it much later on when it was already too late, and then my kind of like initial panic instinct mode went to trying to get protection up at all times, and that was, well, the wrong approach. And obviously then again, maybe a bit of rustiness, maybe a bit of just not coping under pressure well enough. But the point is, you can see it in the moment where here, I think right this moment, we can see the couple of ticks already. I'm ticking away for 2,999 damage. So at that point, I realized what I had done wrong. At that point, I realized what I had done wrong, and I was trying my best to keep the protection on at all times, but I also simultaneously messed up and lost my combo meter. And here the protection doesn't renew, and I'm dead. And obviously then I just went in with Hercules, finished off the fight, and, you know, I should have just went in with Hercules in the first place. And it was fairly simple, fairly straightforward fight. Should have just worked with the hit counter node than trying to cheese it. And that already kind of set me up for the day of failure. And this is not the only KO for today. Much later, and again, for this bit, I don't really have much of an excuse. So I'm going to be using Thing again to finish rest of my fights. This is after the boss has gone down, so I don't have to worry about the global node anymore. And obviously the Jugs fight is, you know, easy. I have Liquid Courage Double Edge on at this point as well, just to increase my damage, just to make the fights a bit shorter, because, you know, when you use Thing, then the fights last a very long time. And against Juggernaut, it's actually quite easy, and the first initial bit goes pretty much perfectly for me, because it's Power Focus 1, but because of it, you know, I can just go ham as long as he doesn't throw that level 1. I'm, you know, perfect, safe, nothing to worry about, and I don't need to worry about, you know, getting him to level 3 pretty much ever, because he would be KO'd before that happens. Now, he did start using special attacks here, but again, it doesn't really bother me. Thing is kind of perfect against it. I keep my protections on, wait out the unstoppables, all is good, and, you know, this fight's in the bag. Now, the second fight now is the man thing, and I had done this fight before and I had won it, but it's just one of those things that come with trying to rush, because I was trying to juggle several things at the time. B, underestimating the fight a bit because I had done it before and I had very little issue with it. And C, just, not being, not thinking clearly. So the problem here, and this fight is going to be very, very long, but the problem here is I forgot to watch the MD. That is quite literally the problem. I forgot to watch the MD. Ideally, I should have just tried to push Man-Thing all the time, always to level 2s. Or I should have tried to alternate the combos to start stacking up the debuffs and reduce his power gain. But here at this point, he reaches the first level 3, and I'm like, well, I'll survive that. And as we can see, that poison again, as soon as I don't have protection on, is doing insane damage, but I figured out as long as I, don't do too much of it, I should be fine. But in stress, I basically repeat the same mistake. And I did have Indestructible 3 boost on, that saved me. And would I have protection on, I would have survived this too. I was trying to throw a heavy attack. I was literally tapping on it, but I wasn't quick enough. And I thought I had another hit on Indestructible 3 boost active, but I got clipped along the way and I lost the combo, and I didn't. And again, it's just a stupid, silly death. I have nothing and no one else to blame but my own poor, play. Went back in there and finished off the fight. And, the rest of the war is fairly mundane, but dying twice is just super embarrassing. And it really got to me yesterday as well. On top of that, again, against my old alliance in a very close war, where I think when I died, that was the death that tied us. So at that point, as I was fighting, we're still tied because of me. So had I not died to that Man-Thing, we would be leading by 1, or had I not died at all, we'd be leading by 2. So yeah, it did not feel good at all. And then on top of it, as stressed I was and everything else, I have this penny fight that I was actually worried about. This was the fight that I was, generally kind of worried about when we started. The plan here, is fairly straightforward. It's penny, so I do want to hit the block, get rid of the charges, and bait out the level 1, then get to my own level 2 once the Evade and Unstoppable has expired, and with that level 2, hopefully pretty much finish the job. And during the level 2, I also don't really have to worry about auto block, even if the shield is active, because I had the Black Panther synergy. Now, here is the fun part. So I take on a block, and she goes 3 bars of power, which is wonderful. Then I panic, I throw my level 1, it does pretty much absolutely nothing. I try to get as much of the shield charge done. And, well, now we need to see how much damage that level 3 does, and what's going to happen afterwards, because I'm a right proper tool. But that level 3 does not kill me. It does put a power burn on me, however, so I start losing health quite quickly. But on the bright side, she's only at 30-some health, so I feel like I can make this work. I stopped taking power burn damage because I had no power more left. And now she's at 10%, and I just need to finish it up, and I do. Finish at like 16%. So luckily, I didn't even need to gamble on the immortality triggering or not based on Assassin. And again, rest of the fights now, of course, this is, super easy, but using Hercules in war, it turns out to be like super expensive. Like, I reached the limit of my items. Obviously, it has to do with the thing that's more so than anything else, but I have noticed that using Hercules in Alliance War is very potion intensive, kind of like it used to feel like with Corvus even, if not more so. But either way, so there I just got in a charge. I shouldn't have risked that intercept, but even if he parried me, I would be fine, because Hercules stun immune whilst he has the feats active. And, past this point, it's super easy. There's no global node, there's nothing to worry about, and Hercules just kind of nukes everything. So yeah. There wasn't, again, it's just going to be super straightforward. So the war itself, it's horrible. I still feel absolutely horrible about that war. I need to do my best to, you know, get my crap together, be more observant, focus more, you know, actually kind of like go each and every fight and think about it and plan for it more, because for far too long I have been kind of relying on the idea that, you know, officers are going to notice everything and stuff like that. So I need to just kind of be more involved before the actual fight start. And this fight wasn't meant for me, but I figured since I'm boosted, I have Hercules, there's, you know, nothing that will kind of stop me. So I just took Hercules there, and I'm going to put some of my frustration out on this Rhino, because again, there was pretty much no danger. Yes, it is ebb and flow intercept, and I'm not going to be intercepting him with Hercules, but I'm just going to build up to, you know, as many feats of strength as I can with Herc, and should be fine. Even with that protection active, I should be able to do more than enough damage to finish this fight out relatively quickly. So I go for level 2. I do get some power back from the power back boosts. I don't even try to get the 3 buffs with the intercept of special attacks again because of Mighty Charge, because it's Rhino. And I'm just going to go in for another level 2 here. And we can see that even through that protection, Hercules is chipping down the Rhino very, very quickly, very, very well. And there's not much to this fight. So I'm going to go for another level 2 now. And that's going to be pretty much it. There's like one more hit. So anyhow, we ended up winning the war barely, by 1 death, and we would, if it was tied, we would have in the end won on the time as well. So, you know, there is that relief that I was not the person who lost a war to our alliance, so to speak, because that would be even worse. But definitely a very awful war, extremely poor performance, and there's nothing else to it. Need to get my poop together if I want to keep playing these wars like I have been up until now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I certainly didn't enjoy making it, but still, I think it's important to, you know, not show only the best sides of yourself and stuff like that. And this happens. It happened, and there it is. See you guys. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about